baby blossoms and titans, what is going on? What's going on? It's me, Vasori. It is me, Vasori, here today to talk to you about hoodoo. Look, I'm going to be dropping some gems and just updating you and getting you acclimated on what hoodoo is, okay? Hoodoo is the path that I walk, as well as me being an eclectic witch, which means I don't just sit in one realm. I pull from whatever resonates with me, be it Wiccan, be it uh, pagan, be it Norse. It just all depends on what resonates with me. And that is how my walk, okay? So hoodoo is mainly what I do, but we're going to talk about it today. So get your pens and papers ready. I'm going to be dropping a little gems for you to get you acclimated on what this particular practice is, okay? Before I get started, I just want to state, if you are here and you want to support, please like, subscribe, and share my channel. Being that I just started out, I know you see my subscribers. I didn't just start off in the practice, but I just started off being who I truly am, coming out of my comfort zone, teaching those that want to be taught the occult. My baby blossoms, as well as titans that support me. I see you guys. Thank you so much for at least allowing me to do this with you, because as I learn, I want to teach as well. That's my passion. If you want to support in other ways, I do have an online botanica that is called visionsbyvasori.com, where I offer everything witchy, everything for the occult. I also have a candle fragrance line as well. That is Jade Aromas by Vasori. You can support that way as well. There's two different sites, visionsbyvasori.com as well as Jade Aromas by Vasori.com. Okay, so let's get started in this teaching. Today, I'm tutoring you on hoodoo. I do have my notes here, so if I'm looking down, that is in order for me to apply everything that I learned from books to my own personal knowledge to what I've seen on the internet and that resonated with me. I'm going to give it to you, and you eat from what you choose to, okay? Let's talk about some hoodoo, baby. So I do not have my light on. It is hot as Hades in here. So let's see. I'm going to turn it on right quick. Hopefully this is better. But if it gets hot in here, I'll turn on my fan and I'm going to turn this light off. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about hoodoo. Now, I got to open up my throat chakra, honey. I got my water. We're going to go with a brief history on hoodoo. Hoodoo is an established magical practice which is believed to be formed in Africa, and that was deprived of its original spiritual philosophy with Africans who were brought over to the Americas by the slave traders. It arrived in the New World with those who were taken from their native lands, and it was also denied to be identified that their religion they could not practice. So the slaves found themselves in a place where they were considered the property by the slaveholders. We know that, okay? That's just history. So African and Native American slaves, yes, Native American Indians were also slaves, often found themselves working alongside each other. And it is believed that through this mingling and commingling of different types of walks, the slaves learned a great deal about the medicinal and magical uses of the herbs by the Native Americans. Now, various slave owners associated themselves with Christianity, and they wanted to convert over their slaves so they can work better, so they can control their mindset. Okay? We know that too. Having the danger of death looming over them, they were not allowed to practice their own religion. The slaves conveyed their beliefs under the rules of the predominant region or the religion of that region. I.e., if it was Catholic people practicing, the slaves practiced Catholic. They match whatever their slaveholders' religions were, but they also incorporated what they knew to be true as well, just to keep from being hung or being put to death. Now, in northern states where African Americans were a certain degree free, they were also introduced to European immigrants who came to America and sought religious freedom with their own religious and folk magic beliefs and practices as well. And in that method, hoodoo took a lot of components for their magic as well as their practices. So it started to transform to hoodoo. They as in African Americans began to incorporate a few elements from the European cultures, such as occultism and mysticism. The acceptance of occultism and mysticism, however you call it, may be seen with what we call candles in glass jars, colored waxes that are often labeled for specific purposes, such as uncrossing and fast luck. Now, with the 6 and 7 books of Moses as a grimoire that was made popular with Europeans, is supposedly based on the Jewish Kabbalah. Now, this here I sell in my shop. This is what we call the 6th and 7th books of Moses. This is the ancient secrets for a better way of life. I do sell this book in my shop, visionsbyvasori.com. And it contains numerous signs, seals, passages in Hebrew that are thought to be related to Moses' power to work miracles. Let me show you what a seal, one of the seals. And that's what we mean by seals, okay? Ancient text, passages, and that's Hebrew. Now, hoodoo displays the associations to the practices and beliefs of mystical traditional ways. The traditional way of voodoo or voodoo is a more consistent and broadly dispersed spiritual practice than hoodoo. It's more on the religious side, voodoo. Hoodoo is not religion at all. It's a teaching for a better way of life. Now, the beliefs and practices is in hoodoo. You could be a hoodooist, a root worker, a conjurer who works with the Christian, Protestant, or Catholic Bible. Now, the words of Jesus Christ, the intervention of Mary, the calling of the saints, along with the use of the Psalms, is thought to hold great power for all manner of workings. When you work with hoodoo, a more Southern African American viewpoint will exist in the workings. A root worker may perform alongside what the appearances of the Scottish, Irish, German that was brought to the Appalachian Mountains. Together we use the Bible, particularly the Psalms, as well as various seals in the magical workings. Even though hoodoo is not a religion, this is often used for Christian mythology, though some practitioners are just as expected to petition Papa Legba to remove stumbling blocks and open up the way ahead of them too. So we do incorporate voodoo as well. That's just what we do. We might connect with Santeria, Papa Legba, Oshun, Yemaye, Oya. That's what that means. Now, the intention in the hoodoo tradition, sometimes intentions are curses. They're seen as a desire or a wish, which can only be delivered by God, and simply when the curse is warranted. An example would be if you lay down a trick or a powder to curse someone, it will only have an effect on that specific individual and no one else. Even if they happen to walk over jinx and powder or something like that, what's more, it is thought that curses which are not necessary or deserved have no effect. Now, if a curse is both deserved and expressed by a person in the right, like a root worker, it is said to not ever to fail. Now we're going to jump to divination and hoodoo. Now, divination is the power to predict the future and converse with ghostly spirits. And it is one spiritual practitioner's most significant ability, regardless of if it's talking to your ancestors, ghostly spirits. It's just a conversation from one realm to another, the spiritual realm to the realm of the living, okay? Divination allows the individual to study the past and present in order to reveal the odds of future events. Divination shows that by active involvement in the actions taking place in the life of a person, they can shift the possibilities in the direction of their desired results. Now we're going to talk about vengeful justice in hoodoo. Vengeful justice is a system of punishment built on the biblical principle of an eye for an eye. Not like any other religions which accept magic as a part of its beliefs and maintains its members do not harm. That's wicked. Hoodoo permits a person to not only protect themselves by magical methods, but also to get revenge against those who have mistreated them. On the other hand, the punishment must fit the crime. I know Wiccans walk, turn the other cheek. No baneful magic. Don't kill insects. Don't kill anything living. That is not hoodoo. It's an eye for an eye. Now let's talk about afterlife in hoodoo. Beside the belief in a higher power comes the belief in the continuous survival of the soul after your bodily death. Several root workers start off working with the spirits of the dead in the usage of the passage to their ancestors. The ancestors are the spirits of the dead who are connected by blood. It is thought that the dead do not die, but more accurately ascends to another level of being, one from which they can look on and aid us from above. Okay? From this higher level, the ancestors can guide us in our daily lives, intercede with the Supreme Being on our behalf, and look after us in our times of need. Now let's talk about some things briefly. The altar. Situating a functioning altar, one that you work on a daily basis. To work your mojo, I would say you can have a permanent altar for your spirits or a temporary one in which you can work the spell, clean it up, put away the items after the spell is finished. I do have a permanent altar, as well as I do both. Basically, I do a permanent altar where I change it up, but I keep it working. And I also have a temporary altar in another room where I'll work what I need or the intent or the desire that I'm looking for, and then I'll clean it up, tidy it up once the spell is done. Altars can be set up on the floor, such as with an African conjure rites or a puja altar or a Buddhist altar. Some altars are placed upon small tables or decorative tall dressers. Some altars can be hidden. You may go in someone's home and think they have a candle and just some stuff threw up there, and it's really an altar. Pay attention. Altars, but don't touch people's altar without their permission at all. Ever do that. Altars are ritualistically cleansed with holy water, or you can use Florida water or any other sacred waters prepared especially for cleaning the ritual space. Tobacco, cologne, Florida water, rose water, blessing water. All of that is types of ways to clean your altar. Altar cloths are placed out to distinguish the altar. Right now I have I wish I could show you guys, let me see, can I turn this? Let me show you one of my altars. That is my prosperity altar right here. Now I'll show you this one because it's about my prosperity. That one there is always, I am always working that particular altar, okay? I show that one often and I update it often as well. Now, white is the customary color for all types of altar covers. I do use white sometimes, but this time I always represent the color to the intention. Where you see that gold altar cloth, that's to bring in prosperity and abundance. That is for gold, abundance, prosperity, big business, big money, everything to do with that, okay? So you don't have to necessarily use white. White is more, I think, for a spiritual altar, ancestor altar, but use whatever relates to you or resonates with you again. Altar cloths can also come in colors and designs corresponding to the work or spirit being worked with or called on. Straightforward altars to the saints or spirits can be a white altar cloth, a glass of water, a white candle, black coffee, and the representation of the spirit being worked with. More in-depth altars will have images, candles, flowers, perfumes, foods, drinks, and other sacred gifts to the spirit being called on. Now, an altar for a particular spell can be the same as well. When you set your altar, do so with focus. I'm going to say that one more time. When you set your altar up, do so with focus. Keep your mind clear, but be focused on your intentions. Sweep and dust the area. Put away disorderly items that are an eyesore in your area. If you have limited storage area for untidy items, put up a partition in your room just to keep it straight. When you organize your working spaces, you organize your mind as well as your soul. Clean your space with a clean, holy water or perfume. Take a purifying bath before setting up your altar. Place your other spell casting tools such as images, candles, powders, curios, oils, personal items. Set them up after you take your what we call a spiritual bath. Once you complete your spell, the altar may be still need to be set up for several days until the ritual is complete, or for the spirits to eat or drink their offerings. When the spell is complete, whether it is 1 day or 7 days, and I usually do 7-day candle workings, so mine's usually is 7 days, remove the items for proper removal according to the ritual, and take any offerings to the spirits to a tree or a crossroads, and properly give thanks to the spirits. Sometimes the offerings are placed in the front or backyard to be determined by the ritual self. It's up to you. Next, we're going to talk about, that's another video. We're going to talk about spirits and saints, okay? Now, praying to holy saints is a long-established Christian practice. The desires for intervention on the petitioner's behalf are made to one's patron saint. Some believers might not only pray to the Virgin Mary, to Jesus, they may simply only pray to God. There is no one right way. That's that religious bullying shit. There is no one right way to do this. Do it how it resonates with you. Everyone has their particular practice and what is customary in their family. Some saints desire specific donations of food or gifts, while other saints will take a simple white candle with a glass of water. Okay? Spirits are also summoned upon favors and special conditions. Foods, drinks, along with other offerings, can be made in compensation or as a simple worship ceremony to your special spirit. There are also times when a simple hello and thank you works just as well. Um, Working with saints should be an easy and straightforward process. There's no need to overcomplicate things. Simply choose your desired saint, read their story, read up on them, know their likes, their dislikes. I'm going to say that again for the people. Before you petition a saint or a spirit, I want you to read up on them. Choose who you want to work with. Read their story. Study the saint's history that can benefit you from constructing your altar for them, along with obtaining the right offerings to give your saint. Sometimes a simple candle and water is just as effective and will be greatly appreciated, and you shall be rewarded. We're going to take a couple of spirits right quick. I'm going to give you some things. The Infant of Prague protects children. The Mary Magdalene. I can't talk this morning, y'all. It's okay. She likes perfume. She's for perfumers, penitent women, hairstylists, apothecaries. The Lady of Guadalupe. She's the Blessed Virgin. She sends blessings, love, healing, protection. Michael the Archangel is an angel and not a saint, but used to defend in battle, protects everyone from evil, foes, and demons. Now we're going to talk about some saints. Saint Anthony finds lost items, keys, lovers. Petition him for that. Saint Barbara is the protector of death in battles. Saint Clare guides one to wisdom and light. Saint Expedite helps bring faster results. Saint Helena, widows, divorcees, difficult marriages, petition her. Saint Joseph, pay raises, jobs, home affairs, home sales, passage to easier deaths. That's Saint Joseph. Saint Martha, petition her for protection and used to keep a man faithful. One more, Saint Raymond. He protects against foes and gossipers. That's just a couple. There's so many different ones. Now we're going to talk about petition papers as well, okay? This is very important too in hoodoo. Now hoodoo practitioners traditionally did not buy paper since they were servants and slaves. What they would do was they would find discarded or papers discarded in the trash, paper bags, and they utilized this for their root work. Brown paper bags was generally used back then to wrap goods purchased from a dry goods store. The servants and slaves would save the brown paper for themselves, which would have been thrown away otherwise. Also, the weekly slave rations, which consisted of shortening, cornmeal, molasses, meat, peas, greens, flour, were stored and wrapped in brown paper. Now, the hoodoo tradition used most of these items or this type of paper to write out petitions. If they could get a hold of it, a piece of sugar bag paper, this is the paper that was suitable for any kind of worker to wish to draw things towards you. I go to the Dollar Tree. You can get 20 regular paper bags in a set and write your petition on there. Or you can go all out. You can actually get petition paper. I have that as well. Many hoodoo root workers today still carry this tradition in using pieces of brown paper and sugar bag paper to write out their petitions. You can also be creative. Get as creative as you want. Use pictures, words, symbols, all of that to write on your petition. Let's say you want to make sure you want to make more at your job. Use your pay stub as your petition paper. You say you have direct deposit. You can always download copies of your pay stub and use that as your petition paper. If you're attempting to pay a bill, use the bill stub as your petition paper. The easiest petition of all involves writing an odd number of times, usually in 3s, 7s, 9s, or 13. The individual's name on a square piece of paper or whatever you're trying to pull in. The most important part is to use common numbers. Again, 3s, 7s, and 9s. For the number 7, it is connected with luck and attraction. If you are attempting to bring about any type of long-term change, write the name 7 times. You can also write a name on the paper in reverse to the individual to send them away in reverse. To enforce your will on others, dominate. 9 is a very powerful number to use. 9 can also be used to control and cross a situation. Gems. As a final point, the number 13 is submerged in superstition. Frequently seen as an unlucky number, it is used when you wish to turn around an enemy's work, return to sender, crossing, or to uncross another person or yourself, the number 13. All right, we're going to go into sweetening jars. We love sweetening jars in hoodoo. For example, you can use a mason jar as a sweetening jar. I usually use a smaller version of this. I don't have one of these sitting out, but a small mason jar with a lid is great for a sweetening jar. Now, sweetening jars, I'm going to do a whole video on this. So I'm going to wait for all the information that I have on sweetening jars. But sweetening jars are a hoodoo's love work, basically, okay? I'll do a whole video on that too. Stay tuned. Let's see what else I have for you guys. I don't want to talk about all my I have a lot of information on sweetening jars and kitchen herbs, that type of thing. We are big on mojo bags as well. Mojo bags here. Let's see. These are some bags that look. You see how the colors? This is just a little bit of what I have. I have the small ones. I have the big ones. I have the medium-sized ones. It just all depends on what you're trying to pull in. And these will be mojo bags. I'm going to come back and do another video on that as well. As I need for this video not to be, and we're already at 30 minutes. So we're going to come back and do one of those. We love poppet dolls as well. Poppet dolls are a whole type of thing, okay? Now, you got to properly be able to dispose of poppet jars. Now, oils, we know that we work in hoodoo with oils as well. Conjure oils, you could call them blessed oils. I call mine conjure oils. So many different kinds, so many different uses, so many different intentions, so many different herbs that you can use. Uh-oh, y'all. Ooh. All right, I'm glad it didn't spill, honey. So those are great as well. You have so many different hoodoo candles as well. We work, baby. When I tell you I love hoodoo in candle workings, I love to work candles. You will find what you love to work with. And it just all depends on what resonates with you. I totally love sweetening jars as well as hoodoo candle work. Candle magic, you can do vigil candles. You can do 7-day candles. You can do stationary candle spells, from double action reversible candles, come to me candles, court case candles, stop gossiping candles, jinx removing candles. I can go on and on. Depending on the candle, depends on the psalm or the psalm that you will read over the candle. It just all depends on what you're pulling in. got the spirits and the saints. I told you about them. I told you about the petitioning papers, the sweetening jars, the bags, the mojo bags, or the spelling bags. I call them spelling bags. Pop it, kitchen herbs. We use that as well. All type of healing. Oils. We do use oils. Now, even though, again, hoodoo is not a religion, okay? Hoodoo combines characteristics of a religion, and has throughout time established certain directions which one is supposed to follow in order to practice their magic effectively. It all depends on what you need to bring in. Those just starting often come to hoodoo with preset ideas, more or less how hoodoo is to be followed. Setbacks often result when people try to alter the rules to fit them instead of changing their behavior to fit the recognized practice. You got to change the behavior as well to work magic. Now, spells are often ritual acts of magic executed out of one's want in order to succeed in a particular goal. In order to do effective magic, you must raise in association to spirit, strongly believe in yourself, and that you can have that what you want. Reinforce this with positive thoughts, words, deeds, and holding strong to the knowledge that what you project into the world will come back to you tenfold. However, that is not to say that spells are always successful and that they manifest in the form or manner in which one has intended. Spells often fail for a variety of reasons, which may include human error, the disregard for the tradition, what you ask for is not meant to be, or due to the direct opposition by another spiritual force. You have to know, and you have to set in working magic. Let me rephrase what I'm about to say. In working magic, it's not about the magic, just all magic. You have to change your mindset as well. And if your mindset is still set on what you used to do and you work in magic thinking that faith without works is dead, you're wasting your time. That's just how I can put it. You're wasting your time. You have to change your mindset as well as do the workings. You can't just sit, light a candle, pray over it a little bit, and just sit and wait on the outcome. Be like, oh, Lord, when is it going to come? It's not going to never come because you're not changing your mindset. You're not going out there to get it. You're just sitting there. That is not how this works. You have to change your mindset. Say you do drugs, I don't know, and you want to break that habit. You're going to light the candle, just sit up there and still try to break the habit? No. You're going to change your course, change your mindset in order to stop doing drugs or stop that habit. Whatever you want to do, go find it in you. Change your mindset. Attune to whatever you're trying to do. I also not just do hoodoo. I also attune to the moon. The moon is very powerful, y'all. Very powerful. When you know, you know. It's a very powerful thing. And I'm going to do some moon magic as well with y'all. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to do some spell work to show you guys some different ways of conjuring. And when I upload this, you can take it as it is, or you can change it to incorporate it of how you resonate with it. Add from it, take some things away. It's whatever you want to do, okay? This is the end. I am of my talking about hoodoo. I offer you or invite you to come join my private Facebook page on Facebook if you do Facebook. It's called Visions by Vasori the Vortex, where I tutor you and try to teach you on magic, not just one thing. I am eclectic. So I often guide you with what guides me. Okay. Again, like, support, and share my channel. It is greatly appreciated. And give me a thumbs up. This is not an easy task for me, especially when I'm coming out of my comfort zone. I am very introverted, but I said to myself, this is something that is not going to hold me. I'm going to do this shit. And I am going to be passionate in it. And I am going to guide my baby blossoms and my titans in what I know in the craft that helped me as well, guys. So I want you to stay blessed, stay vibing high. And as always, many blessings. Bye, y'all.